to Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.
Well, hard to believe, but it is true. This being week 5, we're already halfway through the high school football regular season. The playoffs began the first week in October. Not to get ahead of ourselves, though, league play now also fully underway on this final Friday in September. Always sunny in Happy Valley, a budding neighborhood rivalry with Nelson and Clackamas. Rivals, also friends. The theme was purple to honor childhood cancer after 16-year-old Nelson student Cameron Jenkins passed away last week. Our condolences. The Cavs dropped their first conference game to someone not named Central Catholic a week ago in overtime with Barlow. Hawks soaring into season number 2 on a high note. First quarter, after Nelson started off right, Clackamas responded. Blake Baker, Cooper Belts, one hand's all you need. Top shelf stuff from Belts. 7-7 tight all night. Hawks now on the 15. Avery Durdahl, the Reed Gray into the black paint. 14-7 Nelson back in front. Cavs now on the 20. Baker, another touchdown maker. A.J. Perez, that's what he does. 14-3 Hawks, no point after. The soaring, the scoring kept on going. Avery, Jaden Seiler. Pull a move, dude. Yeah, Seiler will. 21-13, Adrian C. Nelson. Before the half, the Belts kept snapping. Coop, gonna stretch over the goal line. 21-19, and at which the final ticks. In overtime, Max Kirsch with the 25-yard game winner. 42-35 Nelson. The Mount Hood now draws the Thursday cards next week. Nelson at Sam Barlow, Clackamas, the attack from Sandy. Homecoming in Rock Creek. The Wildcats have played such a challenging non-conference schedule. The Metro League lifter with the new kids on the block. 4-0 for the first time in their 5-year history. Mountainside, boy, the Mavericks for John Mannion have certainly arrived. You got to be bold sometimes. Westview 4th and 5 on the opening drive. They go. They score. Sophomore Nolan Keeney, junior Aiden Cox. Cats on the early prowl. The Mavs, though, have some giddy up, too. The first for MHS here. Daniel Savenko with the first quarter interception deep in their own territory. Next play, next point's the first for MHS. Jared Lang scoots in. The Mavericks playing without their top 2 running backs who were injured this night. They're back next week. The quickest way to go back into the lead, you feed the fish. Jordan Fisher, by far and away the best tailback in Oregon. Get him in focus. A 96-yard return. Yeah, we see you, buddy. King Fish, a magnet for the camera. 34 does it long and short. The pitch from 6 and in for another one. He ended up with 4 scores. The Jordan shrug. We're going to love this stuff. 18-7 Westview. Final minute of the half, though. More Mavs. Alex Ingalls pulls the strings for Braden Bowe. The sophomore pulls him a little bit closer. 18-14 at the break. This one went to double overtime moments ago. Mavs 31, Cats 30. Week 6, we'll see Westview stay home with Jesuit. Mountainside's going to host Sunset in a search of going 6-0. And what's better than a stern defense against an electric offense? Steve Corey's Lake Oswego boys 3-1. John Eagles Westland kids also 3-1. The Lions up 28-0 at halftime behind the arm and the legs of Sam Levitt, the future Wazoo kid. Good as Cougar gold. A slice of life for Sam I Am. Little crimson and gray, but this day, green and gold. 59-yard, keep going. That's a major league quarterback. LO, though, has no quit, down 35-0. Big tackle here, Connor Crotru. The junior DB knows how to wrap up. But the running clock was on, and that's not something the Lake Show always sees. So the backups got in for the Lynn. Nick Sakis, Danny Weidman. Those kids now know how it feels to score and play in a heated rivalry. 42-0. Hudson Hardy, a name to claim to some future Friday Night Lights fame. And this night, too, a 45-yard score. 49-0 when all was said and done. A third straight victory in the Three Rivers League rivalry for West. Their next biggest game of the season, Friday in Tualatin. LO down to OC. Cue up that big game. Fox 12's Craig Burnback live in Clark County. What a night for 2A Greater St. Helens League ball in the home of the Spudders, Craig. Washougal, Ridgefield, both have big dreams for 2022 and served up that big game tonight.
And Nick, this game did not disappoint as we had ourselves a good old-fashioned barn burner here in Ridgefield. It was a game that ended with some drama and some offensive defense. And I mean that in the best possible way. Ridgefield loves them some Friday Night Lights. Thanks for the hospitality, everybody. And the Spudders are cooking early. You can't go wrong giving the ball to Rocco Wright. Wright skips in from the 11, and it's 7-0 home team. But here comes Washougal. 4th down, no fear. Panthers are going, and Holden B is throwing. This one lands in the hands of Jason Graham, and just like that, it's 14-7 Washougal. But Isaiah Crowley can flat out play some football. Here he is with his first TD of the day. What a catch and what a run, and we are tied. Tied until Crowley does it again. This one, he grabs and runs in from 29 yards out, and Ridgefield leads 21-14 at the break. Second half, things get wild as it's B to Graham again to tie the game at 27. Did I say tied? Well, not anymore. 1 minute left, and Jason Graham is gonna get the pick, and he's gonna get gone. Game over. Washougal wins it 34-27. What were you thinking when you saw all that green?
I mean, I just got real excited. I knew it was over from there.
What's this win mean for you guys?
It means a lot. Now we can win league. We can win the whole thing. We can go all the way to state with this one.
Yep, a big win for Washougal as they improve to 3-2 and take a big step towards what might be a league title. Now, have you ever wondered why Ridgefield's the Spudders? Well, coming up, the cheerleaders, they've got a history lesson for you. But for now, live from Ridgefield High School, Craig Burnback, Friday Night Lights.
Some of the best ball around in the GSHL. Friday Night Lights, the capital city of Oregon. South Salem 3-1, 0-4, West Salem 6-8, Special District 1. Boy, defensive second half, a 14-7 Saxon advantage. Jimmy Lathan ran into that wall of South. Dashiell Smith used to playing loose and free. Can't all be that easy. The quarterback sack for the Titans. West back with the rock, but again, nothing doing. You get a sack, you get a sack. And finally, an offensive breakthrough in this reel. Can you dig Zach Wustig? We do. Number 3 coming right at you and right past you. South successful, 35-7. Next week they go to Sprague. South will host McNary. North Salem on the road, a smidge up in Kaiser. 3-1. The Vikings winless thus far. Celtics of McNary. Josiah Davis is a dude, churning that thick and strong body for a long first down. So one way to get it. Kid earned it. You got to let him get paid too on a Friday. Davis going to power in from the 1 for score of the night. McNary can run too. Jake Allen going to move the chains for the Celtics. Same drive. We got a quarterback here. Jackson Alt, all control, no delete, locating, locking in Evan Lawson. It's 7-7, 16-yard score. Davis, though, on his thing, through and behind Coach Floyd's offensive line. Don't call him Pink Floyd. It's Jeff Flood. Another stick mover. He's a 225-pound senior. Another scoreboard mover, too. 21-7 victory for North. The Vikes next host Grants Pass. McNary go to the Saxons. Our Paulina Aguilar loving it in McMinnville tonight. Paulina, it's always a scrapper. Grizzlies and rival Newberg. How did the Pacific Conference powers look along Highway 99?
Well, both teams came out to play tonight, but it was the Grizzlies that had just a little bit more grit. You know, they were coming out here to redeem themselves from their dramatic loss last week against Lake O. And when I asked superstar Austin Rapp, what was the difference today from last week? And he says it was that offensive line, and that was their main focus this whole week at practice. It was a slow start up until late in that first quarter. Kane Sullivan with a handoff to Austin Rapp coming up on that right side makes his way through for his first touchdown of the night. And with just a second left in that first quarter, Tigers' Gannon Williams gets his turn, finds some space and plenty of room around him to get within 6. And Hudson Davis will finish it off to tie it up 7-7. Well, it didn't take too long for the Grizzlies to answer back. Rapp zigzagging his way through, cuts left and into the end zone for 6. They go for that 2-point conversion, but it's incomplete. 13-7 Grizzlies. Second quarter, Davis at it again, finds a rabbit hole to give the Tigers the lead, 14-13. Grizzly ball handoff to Rapp again. Almost gets caught on that left foot, but able to get away and up that right side and gets back on his wheels. He'll take it all the way. And this time the Grizzlies complete for 2 points and take back their lead 21-14. To that second half, 3 minutes left in the third. Sullivan, the throw, finds Tyler Ackerman with plenty of room, able to get that one man off him to extend their lead. Grizzlies kept up that momentum, wrap it up with a nice little bow, 49-21 over the Tigers.
Size does not matter, and it's all about skill. What do you got to say to people who underestimate you?
I don't know. Just watch out, man. That's all I can say. I got to give it to my line. They really blocked for me and kept me accountable for when I make mistakes, and I couldn't do it without them all game. And I'm holding them accountable, too, so I can do that.
Austin and the Grizzlies will hit the road to face off Sherwood next week. But that'll do it for me here at McMinnville. Hi, Paulina Aguilar, Friday Night Lights.
Good stuff there, good stuff here. Happy homecoming, Wilsonville. When there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? How about the number 3 Cats in the coaches poll, hosting Hood River Valley at Randall Stadium, both 2-2 in non-league play. The 5A Wildcats always loaded, you know that. Callan Guttridge feeds Jacob Ogden. The senior back chops up the turf before being driven down short of the end zone. That goal line, though, is Ogden territory. Number 30 gets on in the next snap for the first of their mini scores. Cat Scratch Fever can also hit the air. Guttridge, Mark Wipert, catch, run, and then run a little more. Give him that yak attack. Nearly 40 yards on the gain. That's yards after catch, of course. We've seen Ogden from short and a little longer now. 15 yards and in, 31-6 at half, 52-6 the final. Week 6, we'll see Wilsonville host Hill High. HRV gets home with the Kingsmen. And apologies, we don't have more for you tonight. We're down some bodies. Flu season, short staffing. Great finishes elsewhere went in favor of Southridge over Canby at home. Putnam topping Hill High on the road. Liberty pulled away at home late over Glencoe. Grant over Franklin 14-7. Roosevelt over Ida B 21-12. What a rush. Yamhill Carlton over Warrenton. Woodland won at Hawkinson. Kelso 28-20 over Prairie. And F. Decatur had 3 pick-6s at Malala. And while teams have adapted to playing at least one Thursday night game to the shortage of referees, we are making do too. Thursday night lights just as important for all involved, having a show the night before the normal go as we do here on FNL. Our big game last night took us lakeside from Lake Ridge, a top 5 collision in the Three Rivers League. Tom Ferrero's Ricky Bobby offense of Tualatin and Spencer Phillips' Pacers. T-Wolves up 21-14 in the third. Jack Wagner, the jack of all trades at quarterback, can throw, can row, go too. 9-yard run to double the lead for the Double T's, 36-14 after 3, Tualatin. Pacers, though, they play with pride and power in those powder blues. More from Tualatin, but they would score again later. In the end, though, it would be Ryan Oliver finding Ansu Sano, the freshman, a 25-yard score. 39-21 the final. Tualatin's next biggest game of the year. Friday, home with West Lynn. The Pacers next hit the road for 2 at Tigard and Oregon City. Will be at both locations. Pioneer Memorial Stadium, the home of the Oregon City High School squad. The Pioneers, their best start in 5 years at 3-1 last night. Unbeaten Tigard and the OC to begin Three Rivers League, that gauntlet, of course. First snap of the game, Connor Grant. He had the 6 picks, #1 play of the week fame a couple of shows back. The senior showing why 2 and showing his back 50 yards. Led to a short yardage touchdown. Second quarter, Tigard on its own 45. The Pioneers rush him, though. Ryder Swanson. Well, this wasn't edited, right? That's okay. We'll move along. Tigard did get the win on the road. That's your touchdown for Oregon City. Ethan Hopwood. He would go all the way, make it 16-6. 36-23 Tigard in the end. Next Friday, Tigard hosts Lake Ridge as the Pios head to Lake Oswego on Friday. What's good in the Mount Hood Conference on a Thursday? We'll see a lot of it this coming week. The Pioneers of Sandy and the Gophers Hole from Gresham High. The visiting Pioneers took what they pleased early. Peyton Justo, pluck it and play it. Peyton taking it all the way back to his place. Rent-free in the end zone. A pick-6 for the senior. 34-6 Sandy in the end. The Pios now head to Clackamas for another Thursday nighter. Gresham draws the 2-time defending champs from Central Catholic out in Hillsboro also on a Thursday. And TNL and Fox Country, 5A Mid-Willamette Conference. Winless Corvallis at the reigning 5A state champs from Silverton doing anything they want to do. The Foxes did that. Sawyer Teeney, raised in orange and black. Mark it up here to Cohen. Mulick right off his shoelaces. Takes it in for a 58-yard score to open the night. And it would go on and on like that from McGinnis Field. No Silverton highlight reel quite complete. That'll meet and greet too. Jackson Pfeiffer to get on in. Silverton at home, doing what they do in the land of Silver Falls. 44-7. As the #1 club in the state remains perfect, Silverton remains now home to host Crescent Valley on Friday. Spartans go to Dallas. And not only are we here at 10:30 on Fridays, also 10:30 every single Thursday this fall on Fox 12. You can always catch it again as well on KPTV.com. The Fox 12 app has a tab as well. And if you ever miss this show or that show, not a problem. The Fox 12 YouTube channel is here. Like, subscribe, share, care. We'll count down the best of what our Fox 12 cameras caught from the past 2 nights during Sunday's 10 o'clock news. A lot of great stuff tonight for these 6 picks of the week. Still to come, bump, set, spike, quack. This Newberg High senior stands tall on the volleyball court and the recruiting trail as well in the Pacific Northwest. Our high school spotlight's coming up. Plus more from our 2 live crews, Craig and the Spuds, the history of why they're the Spudders, and Paulina, the victorious McMinnville Grizzlies. Flu season is here, I'm telling you, in all walks of life, short staffing too. Apologies not having more highlights from tonight. We will next week, hopefully. Everybody back at home, sick, get better. If you got a clip from a game you were at tonight, we want to see them. Take a shot of that QR code on the screen and upload them for us here. Week 5, Fox 12 FNL. Back after this.
You're watching Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.